Yo, what's going on, guys? Gray here with another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, I finally managed to get my hands on Venti, and we're going to be going over his toolkit today, his abilities that he has, all of his talents and constellations, how you might want to build him, and just a basic overview all about Venti. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like below and consider hitting that subscribe button for more videos like this. But with that being said, let's dive into it and talk about why Venti is so amazing and why you need him on your team. First of all, one of my favorite things about him, he has this incredible built-in glide into his toolkit, and you can use it to cross all sorts of chasms and gaps like this. It's such a nice tool to have on your team. It's pretty OP if you ask me. I mean, no other character has that. There's supposed to be an item being added in the next patch that's going to give some of that versatility to our teams, but for the time being, it's still very strong. I'm just going to hop into a ley line here, and so I can show you his abilities and talk about how he kind of works. And he's sort of an S-tier support character. He's going to make it so all of your other characters on your team can deal more damage. You can combo off of him, but he has a really nice toolkit. If his E ability is going to make this whirlwind that knocks things up in the air. He is a ranged fighter. He has a bow, so you can kind of mess people up from a distance. If you hold down his E, just like this, it'll create a big updraft and toss you up inside of it. Used in combat just as effectively as you can use it to move around the environment, and it's very strong. He, of course, has his charge shot as well, so you can do your precision hits. It's going to do the swirl effect on any enemy, and that's really nice because it makes it so you can come in with any character and get a combo off. No matter what the element is, it'll combo off of swirl. It's a really nice thing to have. I was building up the ultimate there. This is gonna suck everyone together. It's really cool. You can see it gets the sweet animation, pulls them all together, and just messes them up. These guys are kind of getting that immune thing, but you can see the point. It's a lot of crowd control, opens up a lot of potential for teammates to come in and combo off of him. He's the perfect support for your team. We're going to take a look at his talents and constellations a little bit so you guys can see what he really has going on under the hood. So taking a look at Venti's talents here, we're going to look at all of his different attacks and what they really do underneath the hood. He, of course, has his auto attacks where you can do 6 quick shots if you spam the left click. And if you hold it down, you can do a precision shot that'll actually deal crit damage. If you actually hit a weak spot on the enemy, it'll give you a critical hit. He has that Skyward Sonnet, is that uplifting whirlwind that he has that you can either target onto an enemy. Well, you can do it in front of you. Basically, it'll hit whoever's in front of you. Or if you hold it down, it does a bigger whirlwind on you, and it'll launch you up in the ground. It's really fun to use in and out of combat. Like I showed at the beginning of the video, you can use it to cross gaps. It's such a nice utility for traversing around. He's so nice to have on your team for that reason. His ultimate is something I want to talk about because it's very, very strong. I know I call them ultimates. I know they're really elemental bursts and things like that. But it pulls everyone together. It's going to keep them there, and it's a big Animo orb. And Animo is really nice because you can come in, you can see right there with either Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro. If you hit his ultimate with another element, it's going to turn it into sort of a fire tornado or an electric tornado. It's really, really cool. You can combo them together like that. And it's amazing against the right type of enemies. That's what makes him such a great support character. His entire toolkit is based around making your teammates deal bonus damage. And he has the passive that makes it so your gliding consumes less stamina. It's very nice. Looking at his constellations, the first one on the list is really important. It's going to give you, obviously I don't have it yet. If you do, lucky you for getting multiple Ventis. But it's the Splitting Gales perk, and it says it'll fire 2 additional arrows when you do your aim shot, and they each deal 33% of the original arrow's damage. That's nice. It gives him a little more lethality. You can hit those weak spots on certain boss mobs and things like that. And the damage can really stack up on him. He's a support character, but he can really dole out some damage if you do the right abilities and moves. The rest of his constellations are really all about whenever you use your abilities, it's going to lower their Animo resistances. It's going to give you an Animo damage buff. It's going to just nerf the enemies and make it so your team can come in and deal more damage. It's really nice if you're lucky enough to level up the constellation. Like I said, I just got him today on my pity roll. I really wanted to get him before he goes away. Not goes away at the end of the week, but his promotional banner will be coming to an end very soon. So you want to try and get your hands on him if you can right now, because he does have that rate up bonus. You're more likely to get him going after him. We're going to take a look at his weapons and artifacts so you can see the optimal way to build him towards the end game. Let's dive into it. Taking a look at the weapons for Venti, you have a couple of options that are actually fairly strong, and I'm lucky enough to have both of them so I can show them to you here. The first one is the Favonius Warbow, and this one really helps you set up for a nice support build. This makes it so your critical hits have a 60% chance to generate a small amount of the element particles, the ones that give you your main ability back, and it'll regenerate 6 energy for your character. It can only occur every so often, but it makes it so you can get that ultimate ability back very, very quick, so you can always be setting up your other teammates for massive damage. This is a nice bow to get. It of course drops from the wishes. There's another one I'm going to show you that is just as strong. It's the stringless bow. If you have this, it's also a very strong option. It's going to increase your elemental skill and elemental burst damage by 30%. Obviously, that's a nice benefit to have. It's going to make you dole out extra damage, which is very capable on Venti. You can do that with him. He can do solid damage, even though he really fills that support role. It's what makes him so strong. The Favonius Warbow for me is what I'd recommend. I'm still in the process of leveling it up, but for me, it fits his build perfectly. We'll look at his artifacts and talk about the 2 sets that work really well on him and where you can get them. Moving on to Venti's artifacts, there's 2 sets that he can really take advantage of that are really, really strong. I'm going to talk about them and I'll show you where you can get them. They're kind of hard to track down, some of the better ones in the game, but I'll show you the exact domain so you know where to go if you're high enough level to go after him. The first one is going to be the Viridescent Venerer. It's a little hard to say, but it's a really nice set for him. It just gives him a flat animo damage buff, and that's an incredible buff to have. It's a really nice set. You can actually get this, I'll show you on the map, from the Valley of Remembrance. I'm actually right next to it right here. And this one, once you unlock the level 2, there's like all of these domains have different tiers of challenges that you can do. Once you can get to tier 2, you can start getting these really strong artifacts. You can see right there, the Viridescent Venerer. And I know it shows the flower here in the picture, but if you see this icon, I don't know if you can see where my mouse cursor is, but the little 5 petals, that means you can get any of the pieces from the set from that domain. So it's not just the flower that drops there. You can get the helmet or the feather. Any of the pieces from the set will drop there. That's a really nice set to have. The other one is the Nobilis Oblique. That one's going to give you, I'll put tooltips up here on the screen. This will give you elemental burst damage, extra damage up front, and it will also enable you to give your party a nice attack buff if you have the 4-piece set. This one drops from the Clear Pool and let me see the name of it. It's the Clear Pool and Mountain Cavern domain way over here on the far side of the map. Again, you need to, actually at level 1, you can unlock those artifacts, but you do need to be adventure rank 35 before you can come here. These are really end-game artifacts, and I know not a lot of people have access to these. I don't have access to these yet either. I still have some leveling up to do. So in the meantime, if you don't have access to those artifacts, I'm running, me personally, I'm sure there could be better sets, better welfare sets, but I'm using the instructor set for now. This gives me a nice buff to elemental mastery, and it gives my party members a nice elemental mastery buff as well. Since he's all about comboing, elemental mastery will work for you while you're leveling and trying to earn those other sets. That's going to do it for Venti, guys. If you guys have any other recommendations or tips, I'm not a master of the game by any means. I'm just going along as I can, and I happen to get my hands on Venti today. I was really excited about it because I wanted to get him before the promo went away. You should try to as well because he's a very nice addition to any team. He just really brings the strength and the cap of your team up higher. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the video. I hope you are lucky enough to get your hands on Venti before the promo ends or at any time in the future. If you guys enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like down below and hitting that subscribe button for more Genshin content. Thanks again for checking out the video. Take care.